from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. It's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Patriots taking on the Cleveland Browns.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunton. And, Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Dante Hightower on the stop. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws in a double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
Mayfield finding Hooper there for a Cleveland first. Mayfield throwing complete there to Hooper. The numbers in last week's game for Hooper: 7 catches, 96 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. They'll have a tough time.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 yards there and a first down. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
His pass caught at the 4. 7 yards the pick up there. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. They go with Chubb on second down. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And it brings up 3rd down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. The kick by Bass is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead.
Patriots, nothing.
Well, they didn't get in the end zone, but pretty good balance there on the opening drive between the run and the pass.
Yeah, I think that was probably what they wanted to get accomplished right out of the gate. Throw the ball with success, run it, of course, to set the tone. So we saw the offensive coordinator's play sheet, probably wrote himself a little note. Exactly what we wanted to do. Probed it early and got it done.
So out comes the Patriots offense as they'll get their first shot at things here. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
The numbers a week ago for Michelle. 13 carries, 95 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And that's caught by his tight end, Dalton Keene. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Dalton Keene, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready, and get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So he'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb, and he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory.
He's across midfield.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Mayfield now. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. It's caught at the 10. And all the way down to the 9. It's a big play there for the Browns. And even 40 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Chubb. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. He rifles one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
34-yard line.
Following the interception, Mayfield. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
A run for Nick Chubb. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part and got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Open man is Ross, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. pressure comes, and down he goes. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, Oakley. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll pull it down. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. So we've hit halftime, just a few. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
New England trying to get a place on offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. Yeah, the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. They'll try again with Chubb, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Good job, good job.
So the Patriots coming out now. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 77 yards. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score. Well, CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough.
And he's into the clear. 30, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 72 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead. And Nick Chubb, about as dynamic a runner as the NFL has to offer. He put his talents on full display there. That was some kind of run.
And they've had little to no success stopping him on the ground all game long, because that's his third touchdown of the game, and by far the best touchdown of the bunch. They came in this game knowing that they needed to rely on him, and the defense knew they needed to slow him down, yet he's delivered in a big way, and he's been sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Now Michelle. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. Let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible. Now a first down carry. It's Michelle, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and
back to throw. Oakley to Michelle on the screen. And Michelle will have the first down and more. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns.
the pass. Fumble on the play. Recovered.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. And they will run it with Michelle. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And you know it pains them to be this close. And you know they're going to want to go for it here. But they absolutely have to kick the field goal and get this back to a one-score game. It's only logical.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. And he's got it. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Penalty, Chubb. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They run, Chubb, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And it's complete. Hooper. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Stop. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 14.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So the Patriots now down on the scoreboard. A little under 2.5 to go. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Operating from the gun, Oakley. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's now 2nd and 6.
And again, it's Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, 27 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Oakley. Being chased out left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
2nd and 9.
They run it again with Chubb. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you got to win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that